You are falling. That is the first solid fact in a universe of chaos. The shriek of tortured metal is your world. A high, keening scream that vibrates through your bones. Your ship, or what's left of it, is a toy in a titan's hand. It tumbles end over end through an atmosphere the color of a fresh bruise. Purple and angry orange whip past the viewport. Red lights strobe across the cockpit. They paint your face in flashes of pure panic. An automated voice screams warnings. Hull breach. Proximity alert. Atmospheric entry failure. The list is long and unhelpful. Your hands are locked onto the control yoke. You pull back until your muscles burn. It's like trying to pull a mountain out of the sky. The controls are dead, utterly unresponsive. The ship continues its terminal plunge. It's a very expensive, very fast coffin. Your memory is a puzzle with most of the pieces missing. The name of your ship is gone. The faces of your crew are smoke. But your title remains. Orbital Scout, First Class. The words echo in the void of your mind. They feel important. They feel like you. What was your mission? You remember a light, a blinding, silent flash that came from nowhere, a wave of force that felt like space itself tore apart. And then, this, only this long, desperate fall. You try to remember emergency protocols. The manual is probably 1,000 pages long. Step 1 is likely, do not get hit by a reality-breaking energy wave. You miss that step. Step 2 is probably, eject. You glance at the ejection handle. It is a melted stump of plastic. So much for procedure. There is nothing left to do. You close your eyes. You brace for the final, sudden stop. A planet you don't know is rushing up to say hello. It doesn't look friendly. The impact is not one event. It is a series of them. A violent, world-ending symphony of destruction. First comes the sound of giants tearing paper. That's the upper atmosphere shredding your outer hull. Then comes the brutal drumming. Trees, thick as pillars, hammering against the ship. Each impact is a knockout blow. The ship screams. You scream. The world is noise and violence. Then, the final slam. The ground itself reaches up and catches you. It does not catch you gently. Darkness. Silence. For a moment, you think you are dead. But death probably doesn't involve hanging upside down by a harness. Your head throbs. The silence is profound. It is deeper than the absence of noise. It is the silence of a world holding its breath. A single red light flickers on the dash. A tiny, pulsing heartbeat in the mechanical corpse. It illuminates a cabin filled with smoke and the metallic tang of ruin. You find the harness release. You drop a few feet, landing on what used to be the ceiling. You have to get out. The air is thick with fumes that burn your throat. You find the emergency hatch release. You put your shoulder into it. It groans. It resists. You slam your body against it again and again. With a final, agonized shriek of metal, it gives way. It falls outward onto soft ground. You crawl through the opening. You drag yourself out of the wreckage. You stand on legs that feel like jelly. And you see where you are. You are in a forest from a fever dream. The trees are colossal. Their bark swirls with veins of soft, blue light. They rise into a canopy so thick you cannot see the sky. The ground beneath your feet is a carpet of glowing moss. It pulses with a gentle, violet luminescence. Strange fungi grow in spirals on the trees. They shed an emerald green light. Every plant here makes its own light. It's beautiful, and it's utterly terrifying. The air is filled with whispers, the chittering of unseen insects, the rustle of things moving just beyond the glow. Nothing here has ever seen a human before. You feel like 1,000 eyes are watching you. Your training kicks in, a small, calm voice in the back of your head. It cuts through the panic. Assess your gear. You pat yourself down. The survival pack is still secured to your leg. A small miracle. You pull out the multi-tool, your best friend in the field. Its small screen should light up with diagnostics. It remains stubbornly, infuriatingly dark. You smack it against your palm. A classic repair technique. It remains a dead lump of metal. Next, the comms unit. Your only link to home. Your only way to call for help. You lift it to the side of your helmet. You switch it to the fleet-wide distress channel. A burst of static assaults your ears. A harsh, empty hiss. It is the loneliest sound in the universe. You try every channel. Nothing. Just the sound of empty space. The energy wave that knocked you out of orbit. It fried everything. Every circuit. Every chip. Every last hope. You have one last chance. The planetary compass. A simple, robust tool. It doesn't need a connection to anything. It just reads the planet's magnetic field. It will give you a north, a direction, a purpose. You unclip it from your belt. You hold it flat in your palm. The needle flickers. It spins. It rotates in a frantic, pointless circle. Faster and faster. The magnetic field here must be a chaotic mess. Or the compass is just as broken as everything else. You want to throw it? You want to smash it against a glowing tree. But you don't. You just stand there. A ghost in a haunted forest. Your billion-credit survival kit is now just a collection of junk. The warranty probably didn't cover acts of God or godlike energy phenomena. You let out a short, sharp laugh. It sounds alien in the whispering quiet. You are lost. Truly, magnificently lost. You are a new exhibit in this alien museum, and you are the only visitor. Movement is life. Staying here means dying here. You learned that in basic training. Predators are drawn to shiny things that fall from the sky. Your broken ship is a dinner bell. You have to leave. But where do you go? There are no landmarks, no sun, just the endless glowing trees in every direction. You pick one. You call it forward. You begin to walk. Each step is an act of defiance against the crushing despair. The forest is a living labyrinth. The air is so humid it feels like you are breathing water. Strange, bell-shaped flowers retract as you approach. Their soft chiming echoes around you. The whispers continue. They seem to follow you. A soft rustling in the glowing undergrowth. A high-pitched click from the canopy above. You feel watched. Hunted. Your hand keeps drifting to your hip, searching for a weapon that isn't there. Your heart pounds a steady, frantic rhythm. It is the only familiar sound in this world. You break into a small clearing. The trees here are even larger. Their roots are thick, gnarled knuckles breaking through the mossy ground. And there, in a patch of damp, black soil, you see it. It stops you cold. Your blood turns to ice. It is a footprint. The word feels too small. This is a crater, a depression in the earth easily 15 feet long. It is stamped into the ground with incredible force. The shape is clear. 3 massive toes. Each toe ends in a deep gouge mark, the sign of a claw that could shred your escape pod like a tin can. You take a half step back. Your mind struggles to process the scale. What kind of creature leaves a track like this? You look up, half expecting to see it looming over you. There is nothing. Just the glowing trees. You scan the clearing. You see another print. And another. A trail. A highway for titans leading deeper into the forest. You kneel down. You touch the edge of the print. The mud is wet, it's fresh. Whatever made this trail is close. Very close. The whispers of the forest suddenly sound like a warning. You should run. You should find a hole and hide. Every instinct screams at you to get away. But your curiosity is a stronger force. Or maybe it's just desperation. This is the first sign of anything other than plants. It's a sign of life. Big, terrifying life. But life nonetheless. Following the tracks is a terrible idea. It's the kind of thing the first person to die in a horror movie does. But staying here is not an option either. You take a breath. You choose the terrible idea. You start to follow the monster's path. The trail leads you upward. The terrain grows steep and rocky. The glowing moss gives way to hard, dark stone. After an hour of climbing, you emerge from the tree line. You stand on the edge of a wide, windswept plateau. The view steals the breath from your lungs. Before you, a vast canyon cuts through the landscape. On the other side, miles away, a single mountain stands alone. It is a black spear aimed at the heart of the purple sky. It is the only landmark in this entire world. A sound echoes across the plateau, the sharp clatter of rock against rock. It comes from just ahead, behind a towering monolith of obsidian stone. You drop into a crouch. Your heart is a trapped bird beating against your ribs. You creep forward. You use a cluster of glowing blue crystals for cover. You peer around the edge. And you see it. The owner of the footprints. Your journey as a horror movie protagonist is going perfectly. It is a colossus of muscle and scale. It stands on two powerful reptilian legs. It must be 9 or 10 feet tall. Its skin is the color of polished volcanic rock. A thick, muscular tail sways slowly behind it, balancing its immense frame. In its 3-fingered hand, it holds a weapon, a spear. The shaft is made of some pale, polished bone. The tip is a shard of crystal as long as your arm, the same blue, glowing crystal you're hiding behind. It hasn't seen you. It is gazing out at the distant mountain. Its posture is not aggressive. It looks thoughtful, like a soldier on watch. You are an ant watching a god, and you just stumbled into its temple. It moves. Its long, draconic head turns, slowly at first, then it snaps in your direction. The eyes find you instantly. They are pools of liquid gold with black, slitted pupils. There is no surprise in them, only a calm, piercing intelligence. You are completely exposed. There is nowhere to run. The creature straightens to its full, intimidating height. It takes a heavy step toward you. The stone vibrates under its weight. It raises the massive crystal spear. The point glows with a faint, internal light. This is it. Your terrible idea has reached its logical, pointy conclusion. You do the only thing you can. You raise your empty hands, palms out. A gesture of surrender, a plea. You hope I come in peace. Translates well across species, especially when one of you has a spear the size of a small car. Your life is measured in the next few seconds. You brace for the charge, the roar, the final, crushing blow. But it never comes. The creature stops. It stands about 20 feet away. It tilts its massive head. A low, resonant sound rumbles in its deep chest. It is not a growl. It is a hum, a sound of deep curiosity. Its golden eyes move from your face to your hands to the strange silver suit you wear. It seems to be processing something new, something unexpected. The fierce, predatory focus in its eyes softens. It is replaced by an unnerving level of intelligence. It is studying you, and it sees your fear. With a movement that is surprisingly graceful for its size, it lowers the spear. The great crystal tip touches the stone with a soft click. It is a gesture you understand without needing a translation. It is a gesture of truce. The creature takes another slow step forward. It raises its free hand. It is large and reptilian, 3 fingers and a thumb. It is not pointing at you. It is pointing past you, at the one landmark on this entire world, the colossal, lonely mountain in the distance. You stare at its hand, then back at the mountain. The peak seems to touch the clouds. What is it trying to tell you? Your guide, you decide to call it your guide since it hasn't killed you yet, rumbles again. It takes a deliberate step onto a barely visible path leading down from the plateau. A path that heads directly toward the mountain. It looks over its shoulder at you. The golden eyes are patient, waiting. It is an invitation, or maybe a command. What choice do you have? Go back into the whisper jungle alone? Or follow the giant reptile that holds the key to something? At least this path has a destination. You give a small, stiff nod. The creature seems to understand. It turns and begins to walk. It sets a slow, measured pace. A pace designed for a small, 2-legged creature to keep up with. That, more than anything, convinces you. This is not a random encounter. You were expected. The journey is long. The sun, if there is one, never breaks through the thick, purple clouds. The only light comes from the glowing flora. You descend from the rocky plateau into a wide, open valley. Herds of 6-legged creatures graze on the glowing grass. They are built like armored tanks, but move with the grace of deer. They scatter as your guide approaches, giving it a wide berth. The giant pays them no attention. Its focus is always forward, always on the mountain. As you draw closer, the mountain resolves into something more than just rock. You see details that were invisible from a distance. Lines, shapes, structures. It is not a mountain, it is a city. An entire city carved from the face of a single, monolithic peak. Balconies wide enough to land a starship on jut from the cliff face. Slender bridges arc over impossible chasms. And waterfalls. Great, thundering waterfalls cascade down the mountain's side. They flow between the buildings. They disappear into a network of canals and aqueducts. It is the most beautiful and impossible thing you have ever seen. Your guide leads you toward a gate at the mountain's base. An archway so vast it could swallow your old ship whole. You are being taken home. Guards stand at the gate. They are the same species as your guide. Tall, obsidian-scaled, and holding the same crystal-tipped spears. They stand perfectly still, like statues. As you approach, they do not react with alarm or aggression. They simply dip their heads in a gesture of respect toward your guide. Then their golden eyes fall on you, a flicker of curiosity. Nothing more. They step aside, clearing the way. You walk through the great archway and into the mountain itself. The inside of the city is even more impressive than the outside. The air is cool and still, carrying the faint scent of ozone and wet stone. The light is not harsh. It comes from veins of glowing blue crystal embedded in the rock walls and ceiling. You are in a corridor so vast, it feels like a natural canyon. The city is alive. Its people move with a silent, focused grace. They are all of the same reptilian species. Some are large warriors like your guide. Others are smaller, more slender artisans or technicians. They all stop what they are doing to watch you pass. Not with fear or malice, but with a calm, analytical gaze. It feels like you are a specimen being brought to the lab. A very important, long-awaited specimen. Your guide leads you through winding corridors and up massive spiral staircases. You cross bridges that span echoing, bottomless darkness. Finally, you arrive before a set of doors. They are made from a single, polished slab of black stone. They have no handles, no seams. As you and your guide approach, they slide open with a faint, whispering sound. You step through them and into a chamber that defies your sense of scale. It is a vast, circular room. The ceiling is lost in shadow far above. The floor is a mosaic of polished, dark stones. In the exact center of the chamber, 5 thrones sit upon a raised dais. And in those thrones sit the elders, the rulers of this city, the ancient ones. They are far older than any of the others you have seen. Their scales are the color of pale moonlight. Their bodies are gnarled and frail, like ancient trees. They are utterly still. They do not seem to breathe. Their eyes are closed, but as you step into the room, you feel it. A sudden, immense pressure inside your skull. It is the weight of their minds, a silent, powerful consciousness that pins you in place. They are speaking to you without making a sound. The pressure in your head is not a simple force. It is complex, layered. It is the feeling of 5 ancient minds focusing on your own. It does not hurt, but it is overwhelming. Thoughts that are not yours begin to bleed into your consciousness, not in words, but in raw concepts. Images, emotions, a direct data stream into your brain. Your knees buckle. You fall to the floor. The stone is cold and smooth beneath your palms. Your reptilian guide places a steadying hand on your shoulder, a silent gesture of support. The elders open a door in your mind. They show you a vision. It is so clear, so real you think you are there. You are floating in the silent void of space. Stars glitter like diamond dust on black velvet. And then you see it. Your fleet, the pride of the Terran Union, the UNS Defiance, a vessel of unimaginable power. The sleek outlines of the Ares and the Nightingale. A dozen capital ships, moving with the silent grace of predators. A wave of homesickness washes over you, a painful, aching longing. Your people. Then the dream becomes a nightmare. A patch of space ahead of the fleet begins to warp. It shimmers like heat haze on a summer road. From this distortion, they emerge. Not ships, not a fleet. A swarm. A cloud of jagged black fragments. They move as one, a hive mind of pure destruction. They fall on your fleet with the speed of thought. There are no opening salvos, no exchange of fire, just annihilation. Beams of pure darkness lance out from the swarm. They are not lasers. They are not plasma. They are streams of nothingness. Where they touch, matter ceases to exist. The forward hull of the Defiance vanishes, not explodes, simply gone. The ship's reactor, exposed to the vacuum, goes critical. It detonates in a silent, brilliant flower of light. One by one, your ships are unmade, erased from reality. You see escape pods launching, tiny, desperate sparks fleeing the slaughter. The swarm notices them. The dark lances reach out. The sparks are snuffed out. The vision shows you everything. The complete and utter destruction of your home. The death of everyone you ever knew. The vision collapses. You are back in the stone chamber. You are on your hands and knees, gasping for breath. The horror is a physical thing, a sickness in your soul. Tears you didn't know you had streak your face. The silent elders give you a moment. The pressure in your mind recedes, just enough for you to process the terrible truth they have shown you. You are the last one. The images return, softer this time, cooler, more informative. The elders show you the enemy, the swarm. They give them a name your mind can understand. The Star Eaters. They are not an empire with a grudge. They are a natural disaster. A plague born in the void between galaxies. They hunt energy as sharks hunt blood in the water. Civilizations are their feeding grounds. You see other worlds in the vision. worlds of light and wonder that make human cities look like mud huts. You see planets wrapped in nets of pure energy, Dyson spheres harnessing the full power of their suns. Then you see the star eaters arrive. They are a tide of locusts. They drink the light. They consume the power. They leave behind nothing but cold, dark husks. They are the great filter, the reason the night sky is so silent. They are entropy with a purpose. The elders show you why they targeted your fleet. Warp drives, weapon systems. The energy signature of a dozen capital ships was a feast. You were not soldiers in a war. You were a bright candle in a dark room full of moths. Moths with teeth that can shred reality. Your mission into this sector was a death sentence, and you were the only one to survive the execution. The visions shift again. They turn from the stars to this world, to the history of the silent people around you. Thousands of years ago, their world was not silent. It was a beacon of power. Cities of light covered the planet. Their star science was far beyond your own. They shone brightly, and the star eaters came. The war they showed you was apocalyptic. Their ancestors, even more massive than your guide, fought with weapons of light and gravity. But it was not enough. They were being consumed. So they made a desperate choice, a great sacrifice. They chose to hide. They abandoned their shining cities. They dismantled their power sources. They gathered the last of their people here, in this single mountain fortress. They went dark. They lowered their energy signature to that of the rock around them. They chose survival over grandeur. For 1,000 years, they have lived in this self-imposed twilight, hiding from the cosmic predators, waiting. But they held on to one last thread of hope, a prophecy. An ancient seer, in the last days of their bright age, spoke of a final chance. A traveler would fall from the sky, a being born of a different star. This traveler would arrive after a great fire had consumed their own people. The prophecy said the traveler's mind would be unique, solitary, not part of a hive consciousness, a mind that could operate their last and greatest weapon. The prophecy called this traveler by a specific name, human. The idea is insane. You are not a messiah. You are a scout, a survivor. You try to project your doubt, your utter disbelief. The elder's presence in your mind is calm and unyielding. They do not share your doubt. They have been waiting for you for 1,000 years. The prophecy is not a story to them. It is their final strategic directive. Your guide touches your arm gently. It pulls you to your feet. It leads you away from the 5 thrones, away from the elders. You are led through a different door, a passage that spirals down, deep into the roots of the mountain. The air grows warm. You can feel a low hum through the soles of your boots, the hum of immense, dormant power. The walls here are not just rock. They are laced with thick conduits of an unknown, dark metal. You emerge into a cavern. It is a space so vast, it has its own weather. Mist clings to the ceiling a mile above, and in the center of this cavern, it sits. It is not a weapon as you understand it. It is not a tank or a ship. It is a god forged from metal, a humanoid machine of impossible scale. It sits on a throne carved from the mountain itself. Its head nearly touches the distant ceiling. Its body of polished obsidian metal seems to drink the light. And its head is open. A space waits within its mind. A cockpit for a pilot who can stare into the face of oblivion. This is the heart of the mountain, their final weapon, the ultimate guardian. It has slept for a millennium, conserving its power, waiting for the pilot the prophecy promised, waiting for you. The sheer scale is dizzying. You feel like an insect at the foot of a skyscraper, but this skyscraper can stand up and end worlds. Your guide leads you to the foot of the throne. A ramp of solid light shimmers into existence. It leads up to the head of the sleeping giant. There is no more doubt, only a terrifying, absolute certainty. This is your destiny. Being a hero is not in your job description. But it seems you just got a promotion. You climb the ramp of light. Your boots make no sound on its surface. The silence of the cavern is absolute. It is the silence of a tomb or a cradle. You reach the cockpit. It is not a place of joysticks and screens. It is a single chair, a command throne that looks both like a seat of power and an instrument of torture. A web of silvery, organic-looking conduits sprouts from the chair. They pulse with a slow, faint light. This is the neural interface. This is where you connect. You hesitate at the threshold. This is the point of no return. The Elder Ones sense your fear across the miles of rock. Their thoughts touch your mind, not with force, but with a gentle reassurance, a feeling of shared purpose, of 1,000 years of hope resting on this single moment. You take a breath that does not calm you. You walk forward. You sit in the chair. The moment you make contact, the conduits spring to life. They snake around you. They press against your suit at your temples, your spine, your hands. You feel a dozen sharp, cold pinpricks. And then another mind crashes into your own. It is a tidal wave of consciousness. Ancient, alien, powerful beyond all comprehension. The machine's mind is a storm of sleeping memories. It has dreamt for 1,000 years. Its dreams are of fire and darkness. You see the last war against the Star Eaters through its eyes. You feel the rage of a dying world, the sorrow of a lost civilization, the cold, grim resolve to survive. Your own consciousness is a tiny raft in a psychic ocean. The machine's mind threatens to drown you, to dissolve your identity into its own. You will be lost, a ghost in the shell. You fight back. You focus. You anchor yourself with the one thing that is purely yours, is your loss. You remember the face of your captain. You remember the laughter of your crew. You remember the silent, burning ruin of your fleet. You channel your grief, your rage, your humanity. You are not just a pilot. You are the last survivor. You are an avenger. The storm in the machine's mind senses this. It finds a kindred spirit in your anger. The hurricane recedes. The ocean calms. The two of you become one. In that instant of union, a new sensation floods your shared mind. It is a warning from the machine's external sensors, an alarm that has been silent for a millennium, high above the mountain, in the dark stillness of orbit, a familiar distortion of space. The Star Eaters have come. They followed the faint energy trail of your crashing pod. They have found the last candle in the darkness. The sky turns black. There is no time to learn, no time to practice. The union is all there is. You feel the mountain now, not as rock, but as your own body. You feel every corridor, every chamber, every one of the silent people hiding in its depths. You are the mountain. You are its shield and its sword. The Star Eaters descend, a rain of black locusts eager to devour this world. The Elders send one final thought across your link. It is clear and sharp as a crystal spear. A single word: fight. You open your new eyes. The cavern wall before you becomes a view screen to the outside world. You see the purple sky choked with the descending swarm. You reach out with your new hands, not hands of flesh, but hands of obsidian and starlight, 1,000 tons each. They grip the arms of the great stone throne. You push. A groan echoes through the mountain. It is the sound of a continent waking from a long sleep. The entire peak trembles. Rock and dust rain down in the great cavern. Outside, the waterfalls that cascade down the city's face turn to steam. The people of the mountain look up, not in fear, but in awe. After 1,000 years, their guardian is awake. The giant stands up. Your war begins.